Flatt Scruggs tonight. And what else?
Well, I believe we're live.
We are live. Yes, indeed, we are. So, Seth, how you been, my man?
Good. I've been doing pretty good. Hope you've been well.
Yeah, I can't complain. You know, it's been extremely nice. The weather has been perfect. You know, it's like in the 70s.
Yeah, same here. You know, 70 degrees, sunny, got that spring breeze in the air.
Yeah.
It's time for a bluegrass festival.
You better believe it. You better believe it. So, tell us what we can expect tonight.
It's gonna be a pretty big show. It's a continuation of the last one we did when I was on. It's the other side of the tape, but
okay.
You've got Flatt and Scruggs, the Osborne brothers, also some country artists such as Wilma and Stoney Cooper, but the majority of this music looks like Flatt and Scruggs and the Osborne brothers.
Okay, well, you can't get any better than that. Do you let's see, I was going to ask you something totally different, but I get sidetracked very easily. So let me save that question for you, and then go ahead and entertain the people for a few songs here. What year? Well, yeah, what year is this?
I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out when we start hearing the commentary and songs. I've not even listened to this yet. But it's a bunch of Opry songs, and I feel like we almost need to do like the last time and just let it play through because it's such good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, let's just go ahead and do it.
All right. Let me get in position here.
And I'm going to mute my microphone. So we are now about ready to go back in time to the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee in 1960X.
Yeah. And to kick it off will be Flatt and Scruggs. I believe the first song they do is Petticoat Junction. So.
Okay. And that would have been with Paul Warren. And
this is with
Uncle
Josh Graves, Paul Warren. Probably no mandolin player, that band.
Right.
So, but without further ado, I'm ready to roll the tape if you are.
I'd say do it.
We got a new number here, and we got some girls on this record, and about the closest thing we've got to a girl tonight is that over on the end over there. So, Cousin Jake. So we're going to put him to work. A little thing called Petticoat Junction. Come and ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of cares you make, even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It's run by Kate. Come and be her guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
And that's Uncle Joey's moving kind of slow at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
when you hear the dinner bell from the Shady Rest Hotel at the junction. Folks will walk a country mile for the chicken country style at the junction. But the dishes to observe, all those pretty girls to serve at the junction.
Petticoat Junction. Petticoat Junction.
Well, we got Tommy Vaden filling in with the fiddle for us here. We're going to call on him for a little number called Katie Hill. How about Tommy?
From Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Grand Ole Opry. Miss Del Wood and Scruggs and all the Foggy Mountain Boys.
I stand on the corner by the machine. I let it be salt. Oh, if it be your salt dog, I won't be your man at all. I let it be your salt dog. Now look here, Sal, I know you run down Stockton and won't shoot. I let it be salt dog. Oh, if it be your salt dog, I won't be your man at all. I let it be your salt dog. I down the wildwood sitting on a log, finger on trigger now on a hog. I let it be a salt dog. Oh, if it be your salt dog, I won't be your man at all. I let it be a salt dog. I pulled the trigger, the gun said go, shot fell over in Mexico. I let it be a salt dog. Oh, if it be your salt dog, I won't be your man at all. I let it be a salt dog.
Lester, let's hear the new Columbia record you all got out.
Oh, working it out?
Working it out. Yes, sir. All right.
I've been a long time working it out. 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 Well, I'm spending my life just looking for a shoulder to rest my head when the night's cold. Days are getting shorter and I'm a getting older. It's a long time working it out. I've been 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 a long time working it out. Well, I got a little woman just to scrub my floors. Down the road, I got 2 or 3 more. None of them knows about the one next door. I've been a long time working it out. 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 It was late one night when I stole me some money and a diamond ring just to give my honey. Judge says, boy, if you think that's funny, it's a long time working it out. I've been 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 a long time working it out. Well, I look all around me, and what do I see? The whole wide world got troubles like me, between taxes and missiles and the deep blue sea. It's a long time working it out. I've been 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 a long time working it out. Hey, that's it. All right, thank you very much. Carrying along with the program, it's time now for the boys and girls over here to do a little square dancing while our good buddies the Crook Brothers furnish some music for us. How about the Mississippi Soul?
And now, friends, to get along with the show, let's enjoy Flatt Scruggs with one of their fine instrumentals. Here's Earl front and center with the banjo and shucking the corn. We've got a wonderful lineup of talent to introduce to you. So right now we're going to bring out the first one, a pretty little gal who records for RCA Victor Records. Let's get together and give her a great big welcome. Now, right now it's square dance time, and the Crook brothers are up with Soldier's Joy, Ralph Sloan, and all the Tennessee Travelers. Square dance. From a hearty big welcome, Bill Carlisle and all the Carlisle.
What makes a Shanghai crow at the break of day? What makes a Shanghai crow at the break of day? Let the Dominicker hear, so the headman is on his way. It takes a Dominicker hen to enjoy the sun. It takes a Dominicker hen to enjoy the sun. It takes a Shanghai rooster to put the Dominicker on the run. I said the Dominicker hen can lie. Yeah, the Shanghai say the Dominicker hen can lie. She said she loved no one but me. I caught her flirting with another Shanghai. Out in the old barnyard, he spies the Dominicker hen. Out in the old barnyard, he spies the Dominicker hen. There's no need for you to run because you know that you can't win. There's no need for you to run because you know that you can't win.
And right now, we got time for a little banjo picking. We're going to feature all the wagon masters here, kind of headed off by Buck Trent to do you one here. Buck, what do you want to do for us? John Henry was a steel-driving man. Drive on, John.
So, Jack, do you want to stop there for just a second and talk about that sound we just heard? So on the banjo, what kind of banjo is that Buck Trent is playing?
I wish I knew more about it, but it's a banjo that had some pedals or whatever made that kind of detuning sound or whatever you want to call it. Those were made by Showbud, I believe. The whole banjo might have been made by Showbud. Maybe somebody out there knows more than I do.
Right.
But that's definitely the unmistakable sound of Mr. Buck Trent. Just one of a kind. Nobody's ever copied that before, and I don't think anybody ever will.
Yeah. Yeah, there'd be. Is there any footage of him on the YouTube or somewhere where you can see him play, actually? Yeah,
and there's actually a video on there where he demonstrates how he gets the pedal steel sound out of his banjo. So everybody that's listening should go watch that, because it's pretty educational to see how that works.
Yeah, definitely. Well, before then we had the Carlisle brothers, Bill and is it Cliff? Yeah.
Yeah, they were getting down on that song, though.
They were, let's just say that there were a lot of hard downstrokes landing on the old 12.
Well, they took after Mr. Bill Monroe. Bill, he had a lot of hard downstrokes on the 8 string. So.
You better believe it, boy.
Well, no, before that was what was really, really cool. We heard Tommy Vaden playing with Flatt and Scruggs.
Yeah, and tell us who Tommy Vaden was.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Tommy, but I do know he was the fiddle player for Hank Snow for years and years, and played the classic kickoff on "I'm Moving On," one of the greatest country songs of all time.
Yeah.
And I was reading the thing a little bit ago about how Hank Snow's music was such a big part of his life that when Hank died, he quit playing the fiddle and never picked it up again.
Wow. That's
pretty good fiddle player, you know. And
he's sounding good, and he's been listening to the records, because his break was on Shucking the Corn was pretty close to Paul Warren's.
Yeah, he fit very well with Flatt and Scruggs, and shoot, he could have been their next fiddle player if he wanted to, if Paul would have backed out.
Yeah. John Dill here is saying something about this. John Dill saying, Buck's banjo was electrified, and he used Scruggs tuners, no pedals involved. Played a show with him years ago. Great guy. Thank you, John, for saying that. John Dill is the administrator of the Tony Rice Rules Facebook page, and from my point of view, in my opinion, it's the best Facebook page on Facebook. And it's, if you're into the music of Tony Rice, you should go check out that group on Facebook, Tony Rice Rules. So.
Yeah, I second that. I really love the Tony Rice page, and every time I see a post on there, I like to look at it, because there's a lot of good pictures that are posted from Tony's life, and people that knew Tony will tell stories, stuff you didn't even know about Tony.
Yeah,
and that's what I like, is learning stuff about one of the greatest musicians of all time.
Yeah, and of course he runs a pretty tight ship as far as advertising, people trying to sell stuff, or if it's like content that's totally irrelevant, they will be deleted immediately. So it's a good atmosphere on that. Everybody is friendly, and I think it's a wonderful Facebook page. So having said that, what are we going to listen to next? We don't know, I guess, but
we'll find out. There's quite a few more songs. I've got 16 more songs.
Yeah, they're good. Well, we shouldn't forget the Crook brothers that played that. I think it was Soldier's Joy.
Yeah.
Really, really some good old time music for sure.
Yeah, we're hearing a little bit of everything tonight. We're hearing bluegrass to country and old time. There's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Well, the Osborne brothers should come up pretty soon. So.
They're about 10 more songs away, but they're coming.
This is a very interesting kind of exploratory thing we're doing.
Yeah, well, and this is too just like sitting around on a Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah.
Go and listening to the Opry because you got to hear all these great artists. And,
that's right.
Going back in time and sitting in front of the radio again.
Yeah, that's right. Opening another time capsule.
Yeah, well, let's. If you're good, let's keep playing.
I don't know how good I am, but I'll let's listen. I'd say.
Here we go.
After I'm by Jenny's supper, for her good name is gone. How his brothers lied by saying that Jenny had led him on. They'll be coming on it.
Welcome to one of the finest show bands in the country, and they make some mighty fine records too, and they're going to do one of their numbers for you called Leave That Lyre Alone. Bill Carlisle!
Now if you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble. If you don't mind, you won't have to be talking double. If you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble, brother. You better leave it that fire alone. When it's hurting in the morning before you get out,
you can see that sister coming down to your house.
She says, Sister Sue, I ain't got long to stay.
but the bartender sees she stay all day. Now if you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble. If you don't mind, you won't have to be talking double. If you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble, brother. You better leave it that lie low.
You can see that sister coming with a big dip of snuff.
She'll talk about Susie and she'll lie on Jane.
Well, you better let it lie, baby. If you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble. If you don't want, you don't have to be talking double. If you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble, brother. You better leave that lie alone. When you see that sister coming down the street,
Yeah, and the first thing she'll do is show her teeth.
The next thing you do, she'll tell a doggone lie.
better let the heifer hoof it on by night. Get in trouble if you don't lie, you won't have to be talking double. If you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble, brother. You better leave it that lie alone. Now if you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble. If you don't lie, you won't have to be talking double. If you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble, brother. You better leave that lie alone.
Well, sir, it's time for some good old country style fiddling right now on the show. And here's all the fellas that can do it. The Fruit Jar Drankers with Stony Point. From Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Grand Ole Opry.
We're going to do our brand new one here. We work all the Clinch Mountain boys on this one. Jimmy Johnson, Johnny Patrick, and over here's Joe Edwards on the 12-string guitar, the old guitar they're talking so much about now, and Bill Gokey on the 5-string banjo. Wilma and I will sing in it. Mr. Grant Turner's going to do that low part on the end. I know that you'll enjoy him doing that. All right, here it is, called Big John's Wife.
Banjo, my sweet, come to the edge of the swamp where we'll meet. He lived in a swamp with his eye on sea. Since their first meeting, she wanted him to. In stolen sweet moments that meet after dark, but fear of Big John had kept them apart. Banjo, banjo, my sweet, come to the edge of the swamp where we'll meet. They waited and made their plans for that night. You know so well Big Johnny couldn't fight. After he's drunk himself off to sleep, that's when he'd call for her, bye oh my sweet. Bye oh my sweet, come to the edge of the swamp where we'll meet. She thought that his mind had been numbed by the wine. She left little knowing he followed behind. Down through the swamp to her lover she ran, and died from the gun held in Big John's hand. Banjo, my pet, died at the edge of the swamp where they met. Out in the swamp, he'll run for his life, for trying to steal away Big John's wife.
Big John's wife.
We'd like to do a gospel song right about now, and we have some folks, Wilma, that always come to see us when we're over Missouri way. Folks here from Memphis, Tennessee, over in this corner here somewhere. To all of our friends to enjoy the gospel song. Let's bring around our quartet to help you this time. Walking My Lord up Calvary's Hill.
On the cross as he hung in shame was forsaken, as they drove the nails in his hands and his feet. As death closed his eyes, his cries went to heaven. Oh, Father, forgive them, I hear him repeat. One morning past daybreak, as the crowd slowly gathered, like a sheep he was humble to his father's own will. So sad was his face that the birds stopped their singing. They were walking, my Lord, up Calvary's hill, Calvary's hill. In a tomb he was laid, but death could not hurt him. He was God's only son in this world below. On the cross he fulfilled the plan of salvation. I want to thank Jesus for he's coming again.
One morning past daybreak,
One morning past daybreak,
as the crowd slowed together,
as the crowd slowed together,
like a sheep he was humble
like a sheep he was humble
to his father's own will.
to his father's own will.
So sad was his face,
So sad was his face.
the birds stopped their singing.
The birds stopped their singing.
They were walking, my Lord,
They were walking, my Lord,
up Calvary's hill.
up Calvary's hill. Calvary's
Here's some good square dance type music done by the famous Crook brothers, one called Out of Red. From Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Grand Ole Opry. It's Grand Ole Opry time. And the big spotlight is shining on some of the nation's top performers. Wilma Lee and Stoney Cooper, Pretty Marion Worth, the Kentucky Wonder String Bean, Miss June Carter, Stonewall Jackson, Del Wood, and the Crook Brothers. And now, with the Clinch Mountain Clan, here are Wilma Lee and Stoney Cooper.
There used to be a king, a mighty pirate king, captain on a pirate ship. All through the storms and rain, he sailed the Spanish main to rob a mighty treasure ship. He was a pirate king, a handsome pirate king. He loved the ladies, every one. He'd take his pirate band and he would sail for land, and with the ladies have his fun. In some seaport town, the ladies gathered round to listen to his stories told. They would laugh with glee and sit upon his knee, and he would let them spend his gold. Now he would always win a pretty lady friend with precious stones and diamond rings. There'd be a string of pearls for every pretty girl treasures from this pirate king. He was a pirate king, a handsome pirate king. He loved the ladies, every one. He'd take his pirate band and he would sail for land, and with the ladies have his fun. Then he would sail away to some lonely bay where the pretty billows roll. He'd take his pirate band and dig in the sand, and he would bury all his gold. If you would sail today to this lonely bay where the pretty billows roll, if you're a lucky man and dig in the sand, you may find this pirate's gold. He was a pirate king, a handsome pirate king. He loved the ladies, every one. He'd take his pirate band and he would sail for land, and with the ladies have his fun. If I was old.
To that one, and very, very nice. Big ball in Nashville, and of course that can mean some real Kentucky banjo picking the way the string bean does it himself. Let's bring him out and let's get that tune. Here he is, all primed and ready. String bean, a nice hand here for him, shall we?
Had a big ball in town, bought a big ball in town. Big ball in Nashville, we danced around. Yeah, my love's in jail, boy, my love's in jail. My love's in jail, boy, jingle my bell. Had a big ball in town, bought a big ball in town. Big ball in Nashville, we danced around. I'm getting hot now. Yeah, working on the railroad, sleeping on the ground. Eating salty bacon, 9 cents a pound. Had a big ball in town, bought a big ball in town. Big ball in Nashville, we danced around. I had a pretty woman, the prettiest woman in town. Now that pretty woman done sent me down. I had a big ball in town, bought a big ball in town. Big ball in Nashville, we danced around.
That is what I'm satisfied. Well, you ask if I'm happy, if I'm happy, if I'm happy, if I'm worried about tomorrow, when I reach my journey's end,
a long period of silence here, but I hear from Roscoe Morgan. Hey, Roscoe. I wish you'd come. I'll send you you would
I'm satisfied. I've got that old time religion, got that old time religion, that is one.
Roscoe,
I'm satisfied.
Tell you hi.
If my friends, they all forsake me, and they turn me from
set for you
If
to
they
wear on the silence.
I know like a thorn in my back road, but it won't matter over yonder when I reach another side, 'cause I'm gonna sit down on my Jesus satisfied, 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 satisfied. No troubles can ever
I don't hear anything.
open my arms with my Jesus and you know I'm satisfied.
Friends and neighbors, I'm sorry. Sorry for this.
I'm satisfied.
We got Jason Johansson on here. Jason, you're a long time friend of the old time music and bluegrass music. Why don't you tell us a little bit of what you've been doing here lately in your studio?
I've not really been doing a great big lot, just trying to.
Yeah. Well,
Can you hear me?
What?
I guess first we'll need to do make sure you can hear me.
Here.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
I think your mic's not working, Jan. Or your something's not working. Because we can hear you, but you can't hear us.
Oh,
Okay.
well, just ignore me and till you to the end of the show, I guess.
Okay, you want me to play this out?
Yeah, and then you can just say, good evening, friends and neighbors. Thank you for coming. Or, just kind of sign out.
Okay, I'll get the music back going. And it may be you just need to turn your speakers up or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Okay, bye.
Good little lady that we had the pleasure of working with up in Detroit, Michigan a few weeks ago. And of course, is no stranger to you folks in and around the Grand Ole Opry, all over the world for that matter, because she travels far and wide, the way east and west and over in Japan and places like that. Let's bring her up here and get a song from her. I don't know what she's ever going to do, but there's always something real, real good. So what do you say? A nice hand for Miss June Carter. Yes, she is.
Thank you so much. I'm always pleased to death to get to work with Stoney and Wilma Lee and all of them. I don't feel like being funny. I'm just tore all to pieces.
You're not.
I don't know if you can tell it or not, but all that's holding me together is my skin. I'm telling you, I have had a horrible time. I don't know if you've heard me talk about Granny Harpo or not, but Granny Harpo is a little friend of mine, and she rides a motorcycle and smokes a cigar, and I've been doing a little work with her over to church, and that's why I'm so tore up.
I see.
You see, we was working in the nursery, and there was a little varmint in there, a little boy. His name was Little David, and well, he wasn't playing the harp neither. This Little David. At any rate, Little David was in the nursery, and they was having church. You see, they was having early church this afternoon, and the preacher was up in the pulpit of preaching. And I want you to know, me and Granny Harpo was watching him, and that little varmint, that little Davy, went running out of there, just boogity, 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 right down the middle. He went right down the middle of, y'all think I'm not telling the truth, right down the middle of the church aisle, just as hard as he could go with his cap pistol, shot it off 6 times before we could catch him. I want you to know people went every way. My hat went one way, shoes went another, petticoat went another, and I went straight up, and I come down with a whole lot less than I went up with, too. I lit right on the floor, and I turned around and looked, and Granny Harpo was sitting in my lap. I don't know where she come from. I said, Granny, do you know what you're sitting on? She said, I ought to, honey. I've been sitting on it for 85 years now. I grabbed that little David. I was just shaking all over. I still am. I run up her and grabbed that little varmint, and I just shook him till his teeth was a-rattling. And Granny hollered, leave that little darling alone. Leave him alone. I said, what do you mean, leave him alone? That little varmint has shot his cap pistol off 6 times. She said, I can't help it. That little darling has scared the devil out of more people tonight in this church than that preacher has in the last 10 years.
What am I saying for Miss June Carter? What do you say again, huh?
And now, let's have a little old-time square dance type music done by the Stoney Mountain Cloggers. I see Big Ben Smathers back there, and everybody's ready. And to perform the entertaining, the music portion of it, the famous Crook Brothers with one called Sally Ann.
From Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Grand Ole Opry.
Hey, Roy, we got some boys that are pretty good on that 5-string, and these boys just really do a job on anything they try.
That's right, Brent, and they're some of my favorite people. Let's get them up here. It's the Osborne Brothers. Bring them in here.
Thank you. Hey. Here's one we'd like to sing called The Cuckoo Bird.
Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. She warbles as she flies, but I never give her water till the 4th day of July.
It is often that I wonder why women love men, and I look back and I wonder why men are men. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. She warbles as she flies, but I never till the 4th day of July. Going to build me a castle on a mountain so high, so that I can see my true love as she passes by. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. She warbles as she flies, but I never give her water till the 4th day of July. Jack of diamonds, Jack of diamonds, I know you of old. You have robbed my poor pockets of silver and of gold. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. She warbles as she flies, but I've never given her water till the 4th day of July.
Before we started the show, we decided to have a little beauty contest backstage, and I guess you're wondering who won it. You may think Billy Walker won it. Maybe you think Guy Willis won it.
No, I'm certain of that.
No, we got the winner out here. We want to bring him out now. It's my cousin.
Can I make a guess as to who it is?
Yeah.
Because I well know it's our cousin Jody, the most beautiful one on the opera. Let's make him welcome.
Hey! Well, we're having fun tonight, ain't we?
Jody. I asked my gal for to marry me. She said, yes, I will agree. If you're sure that I will get
a 20-acre farm and a television set.
Television set. Television set.
A 20-acre farm and a television set.
I had a friend who tried to get rich, but he only got his poor heart fixed. She broke his heart when her wedding dress.
She traded even swap for a television set.
Television set. Television set.
She traded even swap for a television set.
Ain't that good? Jody, we're not through singing yet.
Go right ahead, you ain't bothering me a bit.
I knew a man who was married 40 years. He never had a fuss with his wife each year. A few days ago, she began to fret.
The doctor said she needed a television set.
Television set. Television set.
The doctor said she needed a television set.
Here's to the poor old bald-headed men, wearing the mark of a rolling pin. They'll have more if they don't agree.
To get a television for the family.
For the family. For the family.
To get a television for the family.
You're really getting good. Jody. Cousin Jody. What? Jody? Jody. Jody? Jody. You know doggone good and well that's not on the record.
It is now, honey.
Oh! Here's to the boy who dated Irene. He bragged too much in the moonlight beam. She wouldn't say goodnight for a bit.
She learned that he had a television set.
Television set. Television set.
She learned that he had a television set.
She learned that he had a television set.
All right. Cousin Jody. I tell you what. Where'd Jody go? They want to hear a little more of Jody. Get him out here.
Jody,
Thank you. Cousin Jody, if you'd have done that right the first time, you wouldn't have had to do it over.
It's a gospel too.
Yeah.
Hey, one more verse. It's the last
Okay,
verse.
last verse.
Here's to the boy who dated Irene. He bragged too much in the moonlight beam. She wouldn't say goodnight for a bit.
She learned that he had a television set.
Television set. Television set.
She learned that he had a television set.
She learned that he had a television set.
Well, I tell you, one of the all-time favorites, an old-time favorite song, and one of the new-time favorite groups. A nice hand once again, if you will, for the Osborne Brothers. You're going to be hearing a lot more from them. Mule Skinner Blues.
Good morning, Captain. Good morning, child. Do you need another mule skinner? Out on your new but line. What a lady. I'm an old mule skinner. Down old Kentucky way. Hey, hey, hey. I can make any mule listen. But I won't accept your pay. Hey, hey. Oh, yeah. What a lady.
We're going to ask all of the auctioneers to get together with an old favorite called Panhandle Rag.
Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Grand Ole Opry.
Hey, Jan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, there's supposed to be more on that tape, but I believe we've reached the end.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we got a good start here at least. You know, we got some good people talking here too with Roscoe and Jason, and
yeah.
So I don't know. You have anything else you want to play, or?
No, I don't have anything else. I was just double checking this tape just to make sure there wasn't anything else left on the rest of it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we're gonna get Roscoe on here because he's got a lot of good things to say about the state of bluegrass. And
that'd be great.
That's bluegrass with two words, you know, bluegrass. So we can get Roscoe on board.
Yeah, Roscoe's got a lot of knowledge about some bluegrass history too.
Oh yes, and man, we met at the Bluegrass Festival in Burlington, North Carolina. Lorraine Jordan was doing a Bluegrass Festival there, and we met there, and we kind of found some kind of kindred spirit immediately, you know, because we were playing some Monroe tunes, and you know, I noticed his way of playing, and well, it was just the right attitude. And I hate we haven't seen much of each other here. Especially, it's been a couple of years since I saw him. You know, he's been busy teaching, and then this whole COVID thing started. But anyway, he's a good friend and a good exceptional singer and player.
Oh yeah.
He you know, he could sing, man. I mean, any style. Whatever he sings is very expressive, you know.
Good stuff, yeah.
Indeed.
Me and him have played together in several different bands around each other, but unfortunately never with each other.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know people. You get to know a lot of people like that. That you might jam backstage, but never perform with them. So anyway, we have to add Roscoe to the list of people. Seth, do you have anything to add?
No, I hate there wasn't any more on that tape because it did say on the set list that there was more from the Osborne brothers, but I'm glad we got to listen to what we got to listen to because
yeah,
man.
The Osborne brothers was man, that was kicking it.
You better believe it. You better believe it. But I guess we'll just have to say goodnight to the people. If you don't have anything else to add, and then we'll figure out something to play for next week.
Yeah, I've got plenty of stuff we can play for next week, so we'll figure something out.
Yes, that sounds good. Well, good night, my friends, and y'all take care.